Alright, let's try this again. Okay, one second. Alright, here we are. That was irritating. Alright, so as I said before, yeah, we kind of have a welcome to Doki Doki Exit music. Now I'm just gonna try to recreate what I said about the last time, that this series is gonna be based on not only a relationship with Natsuki, but it also starts with us saving Sayori. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Hopefully this time it'll run a little better. I can't change my name for some reason. I tried reinstalling the files, but it wouldn't let me change the name, so we're stuck with the name Shinichi. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her, or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give her. Wait, are you? Okay, yeah. The hell with it. I'll get her. Okay, hold on, I gotta readjust some things here. I grabbed the cupcakes and I grabbed the cupcakes Natsuki and I made yesterday and make my way to Sayori's. I reached Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I door and let myself in. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna bring up the stream on my phone. Make sure it's running properly. Alright. She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. Can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, just feels right. Alright, it looks like it's going pretty good, guys. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy! There's no response. I really don't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't that kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Sayori? Shinichi. Sayori stands at the foot of her bed, a long rope in her hand. It's tied into a hangman's noose. In the shock of the moment, I release my grip on the cupcakes. What the fuck? It's not what it... Like hell, it's not what it looks like. I'm so sorry, Shinichi. I can't believe this. Sayori wouldn't do something like this. Jesus, Sayori. I should have known it was this bad. Sayori drops the noose to the floor. Sayori, why haven't you talked to anybody about this? I don't want to waste people's time. You're not wasting anybody's time. We all just want you to be happy like you made us. You really deserve to be happy. I know you don't think that now, but... Well, it's the truth. And I'm determined to help you every step of the way. But to start, you need to talk about this. I can't. There's a short pause. All is silent aside from Sayori sobbing. I was about to do it, Shinichi. I'd never see you again. Sayori, could you imagine if I had found you like that? Sayori, listen. It doesn't matter what you're going through, you'll always have a reason to stay with us. Even if there's only one thing worth living for to you, then you need to hold on to that. And I know there is. You told me yourself yesterday. Shinichi. She releases her grip on me and backs away. We know it'll be tough, but I'll be there for you. We all will. No matter what. Shinichi, don't. Now listen to me. You need to talk to somebody professional about this. I'm not taking no for an answer, Sayori. I don't think I'm ready. We can go another time. Not a chance. You seriously need professional help as soon as possible. We're leaving now. I don't know if I can. Sayori, do it. For me, if not for yourself. She sniffles, wiping her face with her sleeve. Okay. Come on, let's go. To the doctor's. We'll take the bus. Shinichi, the festival. Screw the festival. You're more important to me than that. Well, I need to get changed first. Oh, of course. I nod and take a step outside the door, reaching down to pick up the rope first, taking it with me just in case. She gently nods, shutting the door in my face. Whew. Sadly, we don't have to imagine if we found her like that, because we have found her like that before. It was not a pretty sight, to say the least. I'm a little anxious leaving her alone right after something like this. Regardless, she needs her privacy. I kneel down, beginning to clean up the Cupcake Massacre. Coming this summer, the Texas Cupcake Massacre. Watch as beautifully crafted cupcakes hang from bloody hooks, littering the floor with a towel. Natsuki is going to kill me. I return downstairs and untie the noose, dropping the loose rope in the trash. I linger downstairs for a minute or two before heading back upstairs. She's probably ready by now. I knock on Sayori's door and she answers. Ready? Sayori nods once, her eyes glued to the floor. This is what's best for me, right? She stares at me, expectant of an answer. I feel uneasy, but answer anyway. I know it is. Come on now, let's get going. I'm sitting down in the waiting room outside of the doctor's office, patiently waiting for Sayori to return. I'm anxious. My phone buzzes quietly. I remember that today was supposed to be the day of the festival. The text is from Monica. Where are you? I have to reply. I'm busy. Really, Shinichi? Please don't tell me you got cold feet about the poems or something. It's a bit more serious than that. What's going on? I don't know if I can tell you right now, but it's serious, okay? You gotta believe me. Fine. Just hurry up and bring Sayori with you. I look up at the door. Through the small window, I can see Sayori breaking down in her chair, her head resting on the doctor's desk. I feel terrible, knowing that I let her reach such a point due to my own negligence. Behind me, the door that leads from the entrance to my waiting room swings open, and a couple of nurses walk by. But my phone buzzes again in my hand, and I turn my attention back to it. It's just me and Yuri here, damn it. Why? Where's Natsuki? That's weird. I don't know. Please get here quick and bring Sayori, okay? It's a personal issue. I can't promise anything, but I'll try to get to the festival before it's over, okay? Okay. A couple of minutes of idle waiting pass before I get another message from her. Forget it. Everyone's here already and now they're waiting. We have to cancel. I return the phone to my pocket, running my hand through my hair. Why now? I feel terrible for Sayori, the fact that she's in such pain right now, and how oblivious I was to all of it. But on the other hand, I also feel like I put Monica and Yuri on the spot in front of all our classmates. Monica and Yuri. That reminds me of something that Monica told me. Where is Natsuki? Suddenly the door to the waiting room opens again and another nurse walks by. However, she's accompanied by somebody familiar. Oh, Jesus. Natsuki, are you okay? She quickly turns and runs back the way she came, exiting the hospital in tears. I jump out of my seat to speak to her, but I notice the nurse staring at me suspiciously. I take a seat once more, anxious now about Natsuki's well-being as well as Sayori's. Excuse me. What happened to her? She explains how Natsuki wandered into the hospital, bloody and bruised, looking for help. Poor Natsuki. She then cautiously asks if I had anything to do with Natsuki's injuries. Jeez, no. I don't even know what's going on. I had to bring my friend here. She tried to... I stopped myself. I doubt Sayori would want me to talk about her struggle so openly. Not now, anyway. Well, listen. It's serious, okay? I bite my lip as the nurse continues on her way. My phone buzzes again. Are you sure you don't know where Sayori or Natsuki are? I already told you I don't know. I can't tell her about Natsuki either. Chances are it's her own personal issue and she'd deal with it in her own way. Still, maybe I should text her. It doesn't matter anyway. We had to cancel our performance. People are complaining about the cupcakes not being here. Yuri's gone for some fresh air. Jesus, I'm sorry, okay? My hands are tied here. I can't do anything to help right now. Okay, whatever. Thanks a lot, Shinichi. I sigh. Now I've pissed Monica off because I couldn't bring myself to tell her what happened. I decided to text Natsuki quickly about what I just saw. A couple of minutes pass with no response. The message doesn't even mark as read. The office door swings open and Sayori emerges. Shinichi, are you okay? Not really, I'm just stressed out. How are you? I don't really want to talk about it. Are you sure? Because I'm here for you. I can just... Shinichi, please. Can't we just drop this? I just don't want to make a big deal out of it, especially in front of the other club members. I stand up. Sayori, I don't think you understand how big of a deal this really is. You nearly killed yourself. I think you should go home and rest for a couple days, okay? Guess I'll have to, right? Sayori lets out a small bout of almost nervous laughter. It's a good idea, at least. You know that. But what about the festival? I hesitate. I don't want Sayori to feel like it's her fault that the performance was cancelled, so I decide to start with Natsuki's absence. Well, Natsuki didn't actually show up either. Monica had to cancel the performance, unfortunately. Yeah, tell her, did you? About... I didn't. Unless you want to talk to her about it yourself, she won't know. Okay? Sayori nods. I think I'll tell her. So she knows why her plans for the festival were ruined. I can tell what she's going to say. It wasn't your fault, Sayori. None of this is. Sayori grabs my hand tightly, crushing it in a vice-like grip. Not your fault, Sayori. My bones. You can talk to her if you really want to. Hell, she'd probably be able to give better advice than me. Maybe. Did you tell my parents? I sigh. I did. Yeah. I'm sorry though. I felt like I had to, and... Thanks. I was scared I'd have to tell them myself. Sayori glances downwards to the pristine floor. I love you, Shinichi. Despite her condition, I can't lie to her. It would be unfair to her. It would be unfair on her and to have her hopes disrupted like that. I keep my mouth shut. A minute or so passes. Anyway, we should get going. There's no point going to school now. Why? What time is it? It's about midday. We missed the festival, and if we turn up now, Monica's just gonna get mad at us. Come on, I'll take you home. We can talk some more there. She gently nods, following my lead. We exit the hospital and ride a bus back to her house. I decided to stay with Sayori in her house, just to make sure she's feeling better. We have at least a few hours together, but we spend that time talking and watching shows together. Her mother arrives first, thanking me for letting her know of what happened. I tell her that it's no problem. She tells me that Sayori's father is on his way, and then I'm free to leave if I want to. After I'm sure she's safe, I leave her with her mother and head home. Entering the kitchen, I flick the light on and start to make myself a sandwich, cutting up a tomato. However, I start to wonder about Natsuki. Yeah, it's natural to think that after seeing her like that. Who wouldn't? I remember the time I spent with her here, our little scuffle over the cupcake's icing. But that bruise, her nosebleed, what the hell happened to her? And who in their right mind would do that to her? Possible reasons for her injuries begin to circulate inside my head. Maybe she just fell over. She could have gone into a fight with another classmate of ours. She could have tripped down a mountainside. Or maybe. No. Surely not. Maybe I'm just overreacting to the situation. It's been a rough day after all. But something she told me while we were reading manga together sticks in my head. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. I shiver at the thought. It's the only real reason that I can come up with for Natsuki's terrible injuries. I also noticed that while I was distracted, I accidentally cut my finger open. Oh, dumbass. While slicing the tomato. Ah, crap. I wrap my finger in a paper towel, letting the few drops of blood soak into it. Throwing the paper towel in the trash, I think back to Natsuki. I decide that I'll ask her about her father next time I see her. Even if she assures me that I'm wrong, at least I'll know. I eat my sandwich and head upstairs to my room. I collapse onto my bed, exhausted from stress that the day had brought me. Okay, guys, I'm going to go get some water real quick and hydrate myself, because last time I dehydrated myself reading through all this text as fast as it came up. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. Alright. I drifted to unconsciousness within minutes. Wednesday. Oh, hi Shinichi. I'm back at the literature club. Craning my neck, I look around the club room. It's empty. Yuri and I are the only people here. I leave the classroom door open, expecting the other members to arrive shortly. Hey Yuri. I sit down on the desk next to her, unpacking my stationery kit as she did with her own. Listen, Monica canceled the club yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you. So I just wanted to say that I'm sorry she had to let our little presentations go. Don't worry about it, Shinichi. Monica told me that it wasn't your fault you couldn't come. She said it was something serious. Yeah, it was a bit of an emergency. I decided to play down the situation in case Yuri doesn't know the full story. I don't want her to worry after all. Are you alright? Me? I'm fine, don't worry about me. It was someone else. Someone close. I see. Well, I hope everything works out well for you and your friend. I hope so too, Yuri. A moment passes of complete silence. Yuri has sat down at her desk still reading. The class is still empty aside from us. So, Yuri. Yuri jumps in her chair, a little startled by my interrupting the silence. Yes? You haven't seen Monica today, have you? I'm afraid not, Shinichi. She's been in a mood since the festival, unfortunately. Not that I mean to sound so rude about it. It did mean a lot to her, after all. I know it did. That's why I wanted to speak to her. Maybe if I explain why Sayori and I were absent, then she might forgive me. Well, both of us. But I promised Sayori I wouldn't say anything to Monica. Has Monica said anything about me since the festival? And there goes my phone. Yeah. Not really. I mean, she did complain that the three of you were gone. I was kind of thankful that we got to cancel. What the... Not to ruin Monica's plans, though. I'd never do such a thing intentionally. I know you weren't, Yuri. Don't worry. I can tell you're too good a person to be so mean. Not from the experiences that I've had with her. She has a dark side to herself that can be very, very dark. Besides, you have no reason to want to sabotage her like that. Right? Right? Yuri falters for a moment, lost for words. Not at all. It's just that... I don't even know if I should be telling you this. Well, I overheard Monica talking about you and Sayori to one of her friends. I wasn't eavesdropping, though. What did she say? I heard her mention that the only good reason to cancel on her festival was if somebody died. What? Monica wouldn't say something like that, right? I'm not put it past her. She's kind of crazy. She's a sweetheart. Besides, not only is it egocentric, it's insensitive. Even if she didn't know about Sayori, it felt like it was too close to reality. Wow. That's harsh. I thought she meant it, though. I'm in no position to say that. I understand that she was frustrated about it, but there's never a good reason to say such horrible things about... Yuri's words get caught in her throat as she retreats to the confines of her book. I turn to see Monica standing in the doorway, giving Yuri an intense glare. She doesn't dare to meet Monica's gaze, instead concentrating on the portrait of Markov. I wish I could do the same. Oh yeah, I certainly do. All I got is this very small copy of Parfait Girls to dig my face into. Don't look at me, Monica. I'm sorry? I swallow. She huffs and starts talking. Where's Sayori and Natsuki? She stares at Yuri intently. Monica's presence intimidates me. I don't know, Monica. I haven't seen them. She gives me an acidic stare, her emerald eyes piercing my confident facade. Did Sayori tell her about the hospital? Are you sure? Yeah. Right then. How come you weren't at the festival, Shinichi? I had a family emergency. At this point, I'm practically lying to her face to keep Sayori's secret safe until she feels comfortable confiding in Monica. Then again, I've known Sayori for so long, she's pretty much a part of my chosen family at this point. She's like a sister to me. Aww. How touching. So it's more stretching the truth than it is lying to her. Well, that's what I tell myself anyway. Right. Monica is not having any of this. Even if she doesn't know what's actually going on, she must know I'm lying to her. But for Sayori's sake, I have to keep face for her. I can't betray her trust. If she finds out I told someone that private information... Monica's demeanor suddenly changes, and she looks at the two of us with a weary smile on her face. Okay, you two. Since we're the only ones here, I've decided that we're gonna have to cancel today's meeting. Hopefully there won't be any more emergencies or absences tomorrow. Yeah, you know, how those words are italicized there. The emphasis on those words worry me, due to how aggressively she spoke them. That's all. You can leave now. Bye-bye. Go away. Fuck off. Get on my face. Don't want to see you guys. Yuri looks up from her book guiltily and packs up, silently dropping the portrait of Markov and her stationery kit into her bag. She scurries out of the classroom without a word. Monica turns her attention to me, expecting me to pack up. I nod and pick up my bag, exiting into the hallway without another word. Walking through the school's dormant hallways, I reach the door to the courtyard, but stop, placing my head in my palm. I forgot my own stationery. I'm an idiot. Ah! I return to the club room hastily to find my leather pencil case open. Yuri, did you take a pen again? As I swipe it into my bag, I realize my pen is... Yep, Yuri! Yuri took my pen again. I realize my pen is missing. A quick glance around and I conclude that I must have lost it earlier. Returning to the courtyard, I notice Yuri. She's moving hurriedly, clutching her bag tightly against her chest and wiping her face with her sleeve. Yuri? She doesn't notice me at first, so I jog to catch up to her. Yuri, what's wrong? Hi. It's nothing. Really? Yeah, I'm alright, really. I don't believe her. My eyes meet Yuri's for a brief moment before she looks away. I could tell something terrible happened in the few minutes we were separated, but what could have brought her to this state? I take hold of her shoulder to try and slow her down so she can face me. She jumps, but complies as she comes to a halt at the school's entrance. Yuri, whatever's on your mind, you can tell me. I am your friend, after all. It's not much. It was just something that Monica said. Monica? What could she have said? Well, if you don't mind my asking, what did she say? I don't really feel comfortable talking about it. If you're okay with that. Monica must have said something really hurtful. It's fine, really, I understand. Well, if you're sure about that. You're always welcome to talk to me, though. I guess it'd be nice if you walked with me. Maybe we can talk on the way. Sayori isn't here, and I've got some time to kill. Besides, I feel like I can't refuse. Not when she's so emotional. Phone. Yep, stay. Yeah, okay. I'm sure that'd be nice. Following Yuri, I take the opposite turn from my usual walk home. Soon enough, I find myself in a part of our town that I rarely visit. The walk between us is mostly silent. Yuri occasionally sniffles, wiping at her face. What the hell did Monica say to her? I decide to make some light conversation. Something about writing might be nice. She does take comfort in talking about subjects she's passionate about, after all. So, Shinichi, how do you like writing poems? She must have read my mind. Well, I usually like to listen to music while I write. Even if it's just quiet, playing softly in the background. You know what I mean. Really? Most of the time, I just feel like I can only write in silence. It leaves me at one with my mind and lets me express my inner thoughts. Though sometimes, I do like listening to a soft piano track. Don't the lyrics alter the way you write? Well, yeah, but I guess that's what I'm looking for. Most of the time, anyway. I like for the mood of the music to affect the way I write. I like listening to some Mozarts and some Beethovens, some Charlie Puths. Unless it's something I'm especially passionate about, then I can write in just about any condition. That actually sounds like an effective technique. I'll be sure to try it out. At this point, Yuri seems to have perked up. Her eyes dried. I decide to continue the conversation, as I still don't know how much longer it'll take to reach her house. I know Sayori likes to hum a little tune to herself while she writes. I wonder what Natsuki does. Natsuki. I've been trying to contact her since I saw her in the hospital, but she hasn't responded to my messages. She hasn't shown up for school at all this week either. God, what could have happened? Was it really her father? I don't want to believe it, but the pieces fit together. Her absence, her inability to contact anybody, what she said about him, but most of all, the bruises. I bite my lip as I feel my breathing growing heavy and my blood reaching a boiling point. If I find out he laid a finger on her, So I'll be honest, I don't disrespect her or anything. Yuri's words derail my train of thought. Hey Yuri! Thanks for interrupting my revenge plot. Natsuki's poems are just a little too simple for my liking. I suppose they lack a certain edge. Okay, Yuri, what kind of edge are you talking about? Because, I've seen your definition of an edge, and it did not turn out pretty. I spaced out again. Yeah. Speaking of Natsuki, however, I think we just passed her house then. Wait, what? Wait, which one? Yuri looks at me, a little surprised by my urgency. Regardless, she points out the house to me. It's that house, if I recall correctly. Right, thanks for that. Why do you need to know? I don't really want to worry Yuri about Natsuki. Well, I guess I just wanted to... Right. The rest of the journey is made in silence. I worry that Yuri got the wrong impression, but there's not much I can do. Eventually we arrive, signaling her wave goodbye. You know, Shinichi, you're quite different when no one's around. When it's just the two of us. Yuri falls silent for a moment, lost in thought. Listen, I'd love to stay and talk. I really would. But Oh. It's fine. I get it. You have places to be. Her head darts towards the direction of Natsuki's house for a moment. It's fine. I've got some writing to do anyway. She turns and starts to walk to the door. No, please don't get the wrong idea, Yuri. I'm not really... It's fine, Shinichi. I can take a hint. I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can finish my explanation, she's already entered her house. I felt terrible, knowing that Yuri probably blames herself for my rejection. But I leave quickly regardless. As I turn the corner and approach Natsuki's house, my attention is directed upwards. On the second floor balcony, a large, heavily built man leans against the railing, smoking a cigarette. Is that her dad? Jesus. He's on the phone, and I can't help but overhear his conversation. The man mutters something about having business to attend to, but promises to be wherever the caller wants within the hour. My stomach sinks. Business? If he means what I think he does. Hey, don't ever ask me about my business. Capiche? Backtracking Yuri's route, I make my way back to school, then to my house from there. Fumbling with my keys, I unlock the door. I enter my bedroom and hurriedly get changed out of my uniform. Hurriedly get changed. Yeah, I jumped some hurdles to get to my closet. That's the only way I can get to it. Oh, and I also do some pole vaulting to reach my outfits. You know, the standard clothes changing montages. I enter my bedroom and hurriedly get changed out of my uniform and into some dark clothing. I'm sorry. That was dumb of me. A short jog brings me back to her house, and I take a seat within a bus stop on the street opposite her, staking out her father. I ponder over if he's already gone, perhaps, and I missed him leaving. Or maybe he's still dealing with business. After a few minutes, however, I'm proven wrong by the sound of an engine revving up and a new expensive-looking performance car emerging from the driveway of Natsuki's house. It speeds away and around the corner within seconds. And once I'm certain that's gone, I move over to Natsuki's house and ring the doorbell. I wait. Nothing. I press down on it again. Once more, no answer. Growing ever anxious, I knock on the door heavily, aggressively, banging my balled fist into the door. A moment of silence. Then from a second floor window, I see a curtain pull back, a flash of pink. Yep, that's Natsuki. And just as quickly, it's replaced once more. I watch it intensely, waiting for any sign of movement until I hear the sound of the door chain being unhinged and the deadbolt turning. My heart is ready to jump out of my chest. I don't know what I'll be greeted by, but I await it nervously. Shinichi? What the hell are you doing here? It's Natsuki. Thank God. Natsuki, are you alright? What happened to your bruises? What bruises, Shinichi? I don't know what you're talking about. She's playing dumb even though I saw her. What could have happened to her for her to be so devoted to keeping it a secret? Before I can reply, she grabs me by the collar of my shirt and yanks me into her foyer. Wow, you're being, inviting. Hey, how did you know where I live? Now's not the time for that. Has she been drinking? Better question is, where have you been? I haven't been feeling very good the past few days. No need to be so mean about it. Does she expect me to believe that after what I saw? Natsuki, I know something's wrong. I saw you at the hospital, remember? Oh, that? She giggles. That was nothing. Don't worry about that, okay? There's much worse to be worried about. What do you mean? Come with me. I could do with another glass anyway. She grips my arm loosely and tries to move me along with her through the house. As she moves, she begins erratically wobbling, as though she's having trouble walking. She holds tighter onto my arm for support. She stumbles and nearly trips. I catch her, wrapping my arm around her chest and pulling her upright. Thanks. That's not like her. Normally, if I grabbed her for whatever reason, she'd freak out and call me gross or something of that sort. But here, she didn't even flinch or say anything about it. Something feels off. I release my grip on her reluctantly, as she's still staggering her way along. I assist in moving her, now up the stairs, making sure she doesn't fall and knock us both back onto the steps. We finally make it up the stairs, and Natsuki guides me to her room. Her room is a mess. Her floor is littered with small, ripped-up pieces of paper. Picking one up, I recognize one of the protagonists of Parfait Girls. The cover is a heavily laminated cardstock, and it's ripped in two. There is no way Natsuki was able to tear that in half herself. Not only that, but she has no reason to either. But I can think of someone who does. There is a large bottle of red wine, cap opened, lying on its side on her bed. Only a small drip escapes, staining her bedsheet crimson. There can't be much left of it. I knew she'd been drinking. I could tell from the moment she opened the door. Natsuki, you haven't drunk all of that yourself, right? She looks flustered. Of course I have, you dummy. That's a bit much, isn't it? That doesn't matter. I haven't even finished anyway. She retrieves the bottle from the bed. I reach a hand out to take it from her. Natsuki, nah, it's mine. She holds the bottle just out of reach and tries to push me away. She's too weak, however, and I simply move her arm aside. Come on, that's enough. Shinichi, please. I need this. Something about the way she said that sent a pang of dread through my body. Before I can reach my arm out to stop her a second time, the remainder of the bottle's contents are gone. Looking under her bedside drawer, I see Natsuki's phone. It is overturned, so I can only see her case. The case is glittery and pink. This drink is nice, Shinichi. Natsuki, talk to me. I know something's going on with your dad. Please, I just want to help. But I can't if you won't tell me what's going on. This is all the help I need. She collapses onto her bed and giggles. I haven't felt this happy in so long. I grow only more uneasy hearing that. If this is the length she has to go to in order to escape her demon. Just how bad is the demon she's trying to escape from? As Natsuki begins to snore, her grip on the wine bottle falters and it rolls off the bed onto the floor. To my surprise, it doesn't shatter. Instead, it rolls under her bed. Shaking my head, I bend down to pick up the bottle that rolled under her bed. Reaching my hand underneath the bed, I can feel the wine bottle and something else. What the? I pull both from beneath the bed. Placing the wine bottle on her bedside drawer and that's Natsuki's phone, I take a look at what I recovered. It's a white container and made of plastic. Oh boy. Wait, this isn't right. This is a bottle of pills. Looking for a description, I inhale sharply as I realize that these are ibuprofen tablets. I turn to look at Natsuki, fast asleep, as I worried. Oh my god. I desperately checked the label on the back for the date of the prescription. 2 days ago. What? She's overdosing, guys. Oh, and here's the music. Intense music already. She's trying to overdose. An icy sweat runs down my forehead as I begin to panic, running my hands through my hair. She stops snoring. I violently shake Natsuki's seemingly lifeless body. Please, Natsuki, please wake up. I grab her hand. It's clammy and much cooler than it should be. I put my ear next to her mouth to check and see if she's breathing. Thankfully she is, but it's faint. I take her by her shoulders and pull her into the sitting position. I crouch down next to her, supporting her. Natsuki! I contemplate calling an ambulance, but I'm worried that it'll draw too much attention to her house. The hell with it. I don't care what happens so long as she lives. I reach into my pocket and... Fuck. My phone isn't here. I reach up onto her bedside table, gripping Natsuki's phone tightly. I bring it to my face and press the power button. The screen lights up from behind a shadow display. I try to make an emergency call, but the screen is unresponsive to my touch. Dropping the phone, I pull Natsuki in close to me, praying that she wakes up. I begin to sob, terrified for her life. But Natsuki begins to cough erratically. I'm simultaneously panicked and relieved. She opens her eyes and unsteadily rises to her feet with my assistance. Natsuki, please tell me you're okay. She falls silent. Oh God. Yeah, that. My nose is assaulted by the mixed scent of bile and wine as it splashes on the floor in front of me. I realize that she got some on my arm. Yeah, it sting. Well, at least I would have gotten the deadly mixture out of her body, but she's still in trouble. Natsuki turns to me, half conscious, pleading, "Shinichi, help me." She stumbles back, landing in a sitting position on her bed. I don't want to die. Look, you won't, you hear me? I won't let you die. Natsuki, listen to me, okay? I'll be right back. She nods weakly, barely aware of her surroundings. I need to find her something to eat. Hopefully it should absorb what's left of the alcohol. Bolting down the stairs, I reach the kitchen within seconds. I swing open every cupboard I can see along with the refrigerator. Nothing. Not even a slice of bread. When did Natsuki last eat? Exiting the kitchen, I look all around the house. Hurrying back to Natsuki, I check up on her. She's as pale as ever, but she's conscious at least. She weakly raises her head to look at me. Hey Natsuki. I need you to pay attention to me, okay? Just whatever you do, don't go to sleep, okay? Please. She tries to mutter something, but it's unintelligible. I have no choice but to leave her again. I've searched everywhere in the house besides her father's bedroom. As I approach the door, I notice that it's locked. I ram the door multiple times before the frame gives way. Whoa. I tumble onto the floor, now littered with splinters. I rise to my feet and flick the light on. As I search the room for anything that catches my eye, a few bags from various restaurants around town. I tear them open to find nothing but empty takeout containers. I return to Natsuki's room. We have to go, now! Okay. I help her to her feet, wrapping her arm over my shoulder, holding her hand in place. She'll make it. I'll make sure of it. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. We make our way down the stairs. I keep Natsuki on her feet, though it is proving to be more difficult as she fades in and out of consciousness. Starvation mixed with alcohol is taking a toll on her. But she isn't dead. We make it to the front door. With time feeling like a lost luxury, I shut it behind us, moving through the porch. I can feel Natsuki's tears soak through my shirt. We reach the gate and I set her down while I open it. I scoop Natsuki off the grass and close the gate behind us. Holding Natsuki close, I move as fast as I can down the street. As we approach the glow of the streetlights, I begin to feel relieved. I loosen my grip on Natsuki. Can you walk? Yes, I think. I set her down for a moment. Her knees buckle. Again, I wrap her arm around me and mine around her. Let's go. Okay. I end up supporting her the entire way through town. There was nobody about to call me out for looking suspicious. I'm almost glad she has such a small figure. It certainly makes it so much easier to... That's why she's so small. Yep. Her father has been leaving her malnourished and living on fast food. Been getting her too much of that good burger. Jesus. Finally, I recognize the familiar view of my house. I set Natsuki down on my front step. I fumble with my keys for a moment, finally able to unlock the door. I help Natsuki through. She's safe. From her father, at least. I bring her to the kitchen and sit her down on one of the chairs. Shinichi, why did you help me? How did you know where I... Don't worry about all that now. Let's just get you settled in for the night. I'm worried that it'll be longer than one night. I have a spare bedroom in my house. She'll be able to sleep there. I searched in my pantry and my fridge for something she may like. I decided to just make some toast and chicken noodle soup. Is that chicken noodle? I haven't had that in so long. Her words break my heart. How long? How long has she lived like this? I watch the clock as Natsuki eats. It's late. Now that the immediate panic is over, I realize that poor Natsuki is still drenched in her own stomach acid. Natsuki, I'm going to need you to get changed. What? Not here, silly. I mean, you can get changed in the spare bedroom. But I don't have any of my clothes. You'll have to borrow some of mine. See what I mean, guys? I got dehydrated from all that rapid reading. Now, I can't even manage to say clothes right. You'll have to borrow some of mine. Okay. Probably because I have to. Natsuki seems to be in much better shape after her meal. She stands up of her own accord to return the bowl to the kitchen counter. She moves slowly but deliberately. Despite the stink of bile clogging out my nose, I'm relatively calm too. Natsuki's skin tone has returned to normal, mostly. She still looks scarred by the night's experiences. Once she returns empty-handed, I ask her to follow me to her room. Come on, I'll show you where it is. Natsuki timidly complies, wrapping her arms around me. But this time it hurts. I inhale sharply. Are you okay, Shinichi? My shoulder is in pain. The adrenaline of the situation has settled. Maybe barging through that door was a bad idea. Yeah. Not only because of the pain, but the damage it caused, too. When Natsuki's dad returns to the house. Yeah, I'm alright. Don't worry about me. Let's get you cleaned up. There's a shower in the guest room that you can use. We reach the guest room, located across the hall from my own bedroom. I motion towards the edge of the bed. Here, sit down for just a minute. I'll be back with something comfy for you. She sits down. I rush into my bedroom, picking out one of my gray tops and a pair of jeans. When I bring them back to her room, she's struggling to take off her socks. I place her fresh clothes on the bed and kneel down to help her take them off. She opens her mouth like she wants to say something, but reluctantly lets me help. Natsuki has been through too much today. She has next to no strength left. Thanks, Shinichi. I can take it from here. Are you sure? I really don't. All the blood in my... Whoa, dude. All the blood in my body rushes to my buddy. Oh, hey, buddy. Give me some of that blood. All the blood in my body rushes to my face. She's going to have a shower. Was I about to indirectly tell her that I wanted to help? Never mind. It's fine. You take your time. I decided that now is the best time to question Natsuki about her family. Now isn't the best time to question Natsuki about her family. Words! Words, Flam. Words. Use them. Instead, she just needs a soothing shower and some sleep. Maybe that'll take her mind off tonight's events. If only for a few moments. Those few moments would do her a lot of good. As I stand to leave the room, Natsuki grasps my wrist gently. Shinichi, wait. I wanted to thank you again. Don't mention it, okay? I'm just glad I got there in time. Natsuki stares into my eyes. Me too. How did you know where I was? I walked home with Yuri. She was having a bad day. So I went with her. She pointed out your place. And ever since I saw you at the hospital, you haven't left my mind. Aw. That's why I decided to go. See, this is the kind of story I wanted, guys. I tried golly. I tried calling you God knows how many times, but you never answered. I cast my mind back to Natsuki's wreck of a phone. I guess I know why. I saw every one of your calls. I couldn't answer because of the stupid screen. When all I wanted to do was hear your voice. I couldn't. I just wanted to go back to the club.
and sit with you under the window to read more together. Because when we do, it's the only time I really feel safe. Well, not anymore.
Of course. Her Parfait Girls manga was torn apart. She looks down at the ground dejectedly. I leave Natsuki to shower. After getting changed myself, I sit on the edge of my bed, gripping the volume of Parfait Girls I had bought for myself on the weekend. The water stops running and I hear the ensuite's door being opened and closed. I wait a few moments before knocking on her door. Natsuki, I have something else for you.
Oh, Shinichi.
Natsuki opens the door, looking healthy again. She is out of her dirty clothes and is now wearing my shirt, along with her own pants. The top doesn't fit her very well, though.
Huh? This shirt is massive on me.
I can get you a smaller top of mine if you...
I like it. You don't need to, Shinichi.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I present the manga to her. I saw what happened to your copy of Parfait Girls back at your place, so I thought I'd just drop my own in for you. So you could, read it. If you want. Oh. Natsuki gives me a weak but sincere smile. She reaches out to grab the manga.
I'd love to, Shinichi.
Instead of pulling the manga from my hands as I expected, she grabs my wrist and tries to sit me down on the bed next to her.
But only if we read it together.
It's the least I can do to make her happy. She needs it. So do I in a way. First having to deal with Sayori's attempted suicide. Now Natsuki. God, how terrible must her home life have been for her to want to escape it like that. Well, I can take a guess considering the complete lack of food in her house. And her face when I saw her in the hospital. Jeez.
Hey, Shinichi?
What?
You just kind of stood there for a second, spacing out. God, you're worse than Sayori sometimes, you know?
Hey. I'm sorry, okay?
It's fine. I was only teasing, dummy.
I know that I shouldn't blame her. She doesn't know about Sayori's condition. And as far as I know, she hadn't seen her at the hospital. Regardless, that hurt me more than it should have. I move the duvet to the side and sit down next to Natsuki. She pulls the covers over the two of us, so we're sitting up with it draped over our laps. We decided to just start the volume over again.
Shinichi, you're so warm.
It's cute. Natsuki inches closer to me. We're now shoulder to shoulder. Natsuki, can you see it okay?
Not really.
I inch myself down into the laying position. Natsuki joins me. Oh, this is cute. This is wholesome.
Much better.
My left arm is awkwardly dormant between us. I slide it under the pillow and around her. There we go. This is too much. We continue to read. Oh, okay. Before I know it, she's fast asleep. Natsuki? I lay there motionless. I dreamed of this moment ever since I really got to know Natsuki. I hate that it had to come due to her circumstances at home, but regardless. I run my fingers through her silky pink hair. I brush her bangs to the side. She looks so peaceful in her sleep. What is this feeling? I feel a lump in my throat. Just the sight of her is enough to make my heart pound. I don't recognize this. My chest is heavy. It feels like there's a weight on my ribs. It's hard to breathe. This is the happiest moment of my life. As I drop the manga to the side of the bed, not even reading anymore, I drift off to sleep. I'm jerked awake by the sound of crying. Confused, I open my eyes and turn to look at Natsuki. She's clutching the sleeve of my shirt, holding me tighter than before. She's sobbing into my shirt ferociously. Natsuki, are you? I realize that she's still asleep. Sighing, I lament over Natsuki's nightmares. I'm almost certain they're related to her family, but I give her a nudge to wake her. As she seemingly begins to stir, I try to calm her. Natsuki, it's just a dream. You're okay. You're safe. Natsuki opens her eyes.
Shinichi, that was more than a dream. I watched my dad kill you. I watched him torture you for saving me. He kept telling me this was my punishment for leaving. Shinichi, you shouldn't have helped me. This was wrong. This is wrong. Why, Shinichi? Why'd you have to get involved? I can't let you do this.
Natsuki jerks away from me. Natsuki, do you want to know the real reason I showed up at your house? I missed you. I missed reading with you. I missed reading your poems. And after the hospital, I knew something happened. I had to make sure you were okay. I was worried sick for days. I felt I had to. I'd do anything to ensure your safety. I'd gladly be tortured if it meant you would be happy. Damn, dude, that's deep. Anything, Natsuki. Do you understand me? I'll do everything in my power to keep you safe. If my words right now aren't proving I mean it, maybe this will. I rise to my feet and walk to my room. I flick my light on and rifle through my bag. Ah, there it is. It's a poem. You. I don't know what's happened or where have you been. All I can think about is bruises on your skin. The blood on your nose dripped onto your clothes. The sight that broke my mind. For that moment I was frozen in time. I saw you. Broken. Abused. I knew from there on I would save you. Day turned to night. You on my mind. I've been sick with worry. If I'm going to do something, I need to hurry. Text after text, call after call. The girl I cared about most is the one I couldn't save after all. I return to the bed. Natsuki turns to face me. I hand her my poem. Natsuki reads, wiping her eyes as she does so.
Shinichi,
Natsuki leaps from her bed and embraces me tightly. I return the gesture, wrapping my arms around her. We stay together for a while, her tears soaking through my shirt once again. After a few minutes, Natsuki eases her grip. I do as well, resting my hand on her waist, hers hanging from my neck. Natsuki lifts herself up on her tiptoes and pecks me on the cheek.
I want to go back to sleep, but I want you to stay with me.
I nod wordlessly, and Natsuki gently escorts me to the bed. Laying my head on the pillow, she keeps her arms wrapped around me. We drift off into the void of unconsciousness together. Thursday. Alright, we're going to go ahead and save it. Right there. This is... I'm a bit skeptical, I guess would be a good word for it, because at the end of the day, it is Doki Doki Literature Club. So, it's like, even though there's happiness right now, how long and if it happens, will that happiness shatter? God. Something tells me I'm going to regret playing through this, but at the same time, I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm enjoying the story so far, and it's what I hoped for out of a Natsuki love story, and then some. So I'm loving it so far, but let me know if you guys are enjoying it too. And let me know if there are some other mods that you want me to try out after this. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. I will be continuing this tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later.